I should have worn a hat.
You should have worn a hat. I'm back now with a hat. Apologies for that. No one wants to see my bald head.
Mike's confidence is now back in the hat.
It's a magic hat. It's like one of those hats from Yu-Gi-Oh! I imagine you don't know what that is.
Why would you think that?
The big game of the weekend was probably, it was definitely United Spurs, right?
I would say, though, this weekend, it's not been a case of having a particularly big game. I think it's just the results that have created it a big game. So
I think the performances as well.
Yeah. So instead of it being, oh wow, everyone's going to watch this game, like you had the Arsenal Tottenham game and then the Arsenal City game because it's a title race. Now it's a case of afterwards, the hindsight of the games is what makes it a big game, I feel.
Yeah, because like we touched on previously, the Spurs were due a big result, and when things start clicking, they are going to score goals. And coming up against a piss poor Man United team, like there's no other word for it. They were dreadful. I think the red card will do them favours in the fact that in the history books you'll look back on it and see, they had a man sent off. That's why they lost. I'm not being funny. It could have been 3-4-0 before he got sent off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If I was a Man United fan, I don't think I think I would have passed the point of anger.
It's almost expected disappointment now.
Well, it was horrendous from start to finish. Honestly, that first half of football was one of the worst halves I've ever seen from a Man United team. And bearing in mind, for the past 10 years, United have been terrible. This was right up there. No one was doing anything. Rashford was piss poor again. I know I like to pick out Rashford quite a lot. But the reason for that is there's certain players in that Man United team that have, I don't want to say been responsible for managers getting the sack, but they've been there for multiple managers and they're still there now.
Yeah.
Like Jose Mourinho came out and said, I don't know when he said it, but he said that there was 4 players at the club that he wanted to get rid of that are still there now. So the club's run, like there's something sinister going on behind the scenes at Man United when it comes to players' contracts. Like Rashford hasn't played well for so long. He's had a couple of decent games this season. But I don't think it warrants him starting as many as he is and staying on as long as what he does. Bruno Fernandes is the captain, but has been poor this season.
I don't think he can be a captain.
Yeah, you said last week. It's just too petulant for it.
That's absolutely. He doesn't have the right mindset. But yeah, I agree. It's almost like there's something going on that means that they don't have to be dropped or they can't be dropped, or it's a case of they have to do a certain amount of minutes in their contract. Maybe something like that.
And maybe it is because Bruno signed a 4-year contract last year, I believe, when he was playing relatively well, and United obviously weren't, but he was playing okay at a time where they probably could have cashed in on him. He signed a 4-year contract, and now he's playing like this. And it was whether you think it's a red card or not, it doesn't matter. He's the captain of Man United. If you're getting sent off at Man United as a captain, you're doing something like Roy Keane or Cantona did.
Yeah.
Like you're not kicking out at James Maddison as you slip. And it probably was, not even probably, it was a harsh red card. I think.
Was it a second yellow?
No, it's straight red.
Straight red.
But if you didn't see it, he's gone to tackle James Maddison. Yeah. And he slipped and he's gone to trip him up. So in real time,
studs up.
Yeah, real time, the way Maddison reacts and the way it looks like he's kicked out.
Yeah.
But then in the freeze frames and the slowed down, you see that he slipped and he hardly touches him. And I know contact doesn't particularly matter. It's intent at this point.
Yeah.
He's not intending to kick him high. He wants to trip him up to stop the counter attack.
Yeah, I think it looks a lot worse. I think if he'd got his intended tackle, it's a yellow.
Yeah.
But because of the slip, and obviously the ref only sees it in live action. So for once, I will defend the ref's decision.
Yeah, if there wasn't VAR, because it would have gone to VAR, because every red card does.
Yeah. Now VAR should have gone because they see the slow.
We saw the slowed down version of it. So everyone, even the commentators. So I was at work when I was watching it, so I only half heard it. But even the commentators were like, "No, it's not a red card. It's a yellow." Mm-hmm. But this is how much it didn't matter. Is that there's not a massive uproar about it. People will say, yeah, it was a red card or it wasn't a red card, and that's it. And you move on. But Tottenham, it was I touched on West Ham Chelsea last week.
Yeah.
It was alike to that game. Like, but
Tottenham training on.
Yeah. Every single Man United player, there's not one player in that first half that can turn around and be like, yeah, I did all right today. Even the players that have played well recently, so like Dalot and Mazraoui,
Yeah.
they look like they couldn't kick a ball.
Yeah. Do you know, Dalot's a very good one to point out, because I thought, like, recently he's had some semi-decent performances.
I like Dalot. I'm a big fan of Dalot.
And in comparison to the rest of the squad, he's playing all right.
Playing out of position as well. He's playing at left back.
Yeah.
He's not a left back.
And yeah, then watching them, it's like watching amateur football. It's embarrassing, really.
I think it's very easy to say it's a hangover from European football midweek. They were poor against Twente, and even so the post-match comments, if you didn't see it, for the midweek game against Twente, Ericsson came out and said, who's one of the senior players at Man United, came out and said in an interview, 20 players wanted 20, whatever you call them, wanted it more than us. That's a concern that a senior player. One, it's a concern that it's happening, and two, it's a concern that he's freely speaking about it in the public. Yeah,
like he's called it out.
So you leave Ten Hag nowhere to go. What's Ten Hag meant to do there? He either backs it or shoots down his own player. So what's he meant to do? So that's an oddity you don't see very often.
Yeah.
And I feel like the performance matched those comments. Like, the rest of the team has almost seen that and been like, well, everyone knows we couldn't give a fuck anymore.
So why bother?
It just looks like they've down tools to get a new manager in, like they've done for Jose, they've done for Oli, they've done for Ranić. They never really started for Ranić. Even before that, like, there's players that are still there that was there when Van Gaal was there.
It's almost like since Ferguson's gone, every manager that's gone in, all the players are expecting to be like Sir Alex, and it's now they're not getting it. They're like,
Whether you like Manchester United or not, whether you support them or not, it's fundamental to British football.
Yeah,
they are a mainstay at the highest level of British football.
They've got a massive international fan base,
and exactly. So some of the players that are there now, I think they almost take getting a contract at Man United as, oh, well, I've made it now. I'm at the top. So they no longer feel like they have to do anything because they're already playing in a theatre of dreams.
Yeah,
they're already playing in front of 80,000 people at Old Trafford. Like, they don't. Is the want there? Like, is the desire to play for Man United? Does it hold the caliber of excellence that it once did?
I feel, even if you were at the top of your game, you look at players like Ronaldo and things like that. You're at the top of your game. If you think that you getting to United is the top that you can get, one, you're wrong. Maybe years ago you might have been right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're wrong. And two, surely if you're there, you want to be playing the best football that you can.
Yeah, well, you owe it to.
How can you go into that thinking, oh, well, I've made it, so what does it matter now?
Well, most Premier Leagues. Mm-hmm. So they've got the highest attendances on average. They've got a massive fan base, worldwide fan base.
Yep.
Globally, Manchester United are arguably in the top 5, definitely in the top 5 most known and supported teams worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's just something just isn't right with the club.
It's almost like you said, the players have down tools. They've had enough of Ten Hag, which
it doesn't matter what we think.
No, absolutely.
Whether it's too soon or not. Something needs to change.
Yeah, and you can't. The problem is players know it, fans know it, the manager knows it. You can't change every player.
But it's the same players though. Like, if you look at the team that he's got now and compare it back to when Jose had the team, there's players that are still in the same. There's players that cross over.
Yeah. No.
So they've given Ten Hag a load of money to spend. Whether he's made the right signings or not for what he wants, he's made his signings.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna potentially kick him to the curb, and then have to give 200, 300 million to another manager to get in their players when you've still got the rotten core that's causing the problems.
Exactly. All you're doing is you're bringing in new players to a bad dressing room.
Yeah, exactly. You're kicking the can down the road. Yeah, that's the best way of saying it, because every manager that comes in at Man United, there is a new manager bounce. Yeah, there always has been. So when Oli came in, he went on that ridiculous run, won 10 in a row or whatever it was, got a new contract, got a permanent contract, then got pissed on by Everton the next week.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's rinse and repeat. It's like a story you've read before or a film you've already seen. It's the same thing. And I guarantee you, whoever they get in, when Ten Hag goes, now it is a matter of time, when he goes, whoever they get in, even if they were to get in Klopp, who it won't be, but Pep, you get in the best manager out there.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing. The manager isn't the problem. There is something going on that needs to be looked at from a boardroom level, from a director level, to see and get rid of, to alleviate the problems that they have. Because if you compare the way that they're run to Brighton, for example, Brighton's ethos is so instilled in their club. It doesn't matter who comes in charge because it's already set up.
Yeah,
it's already there.
Their way of running doesn't change because of the manager.
Exactly. The manager fits the club. They find the right caliber of manager with the right style to fit the club, and then everything else is already in place. Man United is the polar opposite of that. Nothing is in place, so it doesn't matter what manager you bring in, they're going to fall to the wayside eventually.
But how high does that go? Because obviously most fans, they want the Glazers gone. Yeah. Okay, the Glazers looked at selling.
No, they didn't.
Well, they looked at selling up part though.
It was to raise their prices. It was all PR. So they said they were selling. It did work because their share prices went through the roof. They're not idiots. They're businessmen.
Of course, but that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
they are businessmen. They don't see the sport, and this is what I find. Going off on a little bit of a tangent. I won't go too long because I know we do this all the time.
Watford.
No, not Watford.
Okay, not this one.
The rinse and repeat for managers, selling managers to get success is Watford. Yeah. I say selling managers.
You can't compare Watford to Man United though.
No, we can't. But what I mean is that process. But Chelsea, they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
But I think from a fans level, they all want the Glazers out. The Glazers are businessmen that know how to run a club to make money.
Yeah. They know how to profit from a club.
Absolutely. What I find the issue now in the Premier League is that's all it's come down to.
Yeah.
Money about running your business is what's important to everyone now. There are fans, we still love the football. The owners, they don't care about the football.
And that's pretty much across the Premier League now.
Yeah.
Well, the Champions League is massive. For getting in the Champions League is now what managers are aiming for. So getting Man United back in the Champions League is almost more important to them than winning the FA Cup.
Or the Premier League. And that
maybe not
annoys
the Premier
me.
League, but the FA Cup.
Yeah, the FA Cup, that annoys me because the FA Cup is like blood through blood is what I mean is like generational.
Oh yeah.
The FA Cup is the one cup we've always had.
Well, it's in our heritage.
Yeah, that's what I was going for with blood through. We'll get rid of that because I can't even fucking say it.
Not good.
Let's get rid of it.
But no, you're right. But actually, on the FA Cup, I was thinking about this the other day. It's a bit of a tangent, but bear with me, please.
This is what we do.
Why is the FA Cup seen as the better cup to win? Like, hear me out. Because, right, it's the Football League, so it goes all the way down to non-league teams. No, it's past the Football League. It goes all the way down to non-league football. Yeah. So, like, the second tier, whatever not the second tier, like the fifth tier, maybe not, however low it goes.
Yeah, it goes far.
Yeah. Why is it higher caliber to win those games when you have more chance as an elite club to play a lesser team than it is the Carabao Cup, which is only the Football League? It gives you less chance to play worse teams because it only goes down to League 2.
Yeah.
So why is the FA? Is it just that it goes on for longer? Is that why? But then the Premier League teams don't come in till the third round.
Yeah.
Fourth round.
I'd like to see them come in straight away.
But why? Yeah. Could you imagine Man City going to Alfreton away?
Dogs.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
You see Edison doing a back heel on that pitch.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Trying to control the ball. It's like,
just get pies thrown at him. But anyway, go back to what we were talking about. I can't remember what it was. Ten Hag now, I heard on the radio today, he's been given 2 games. Yeah. So, breaking news. Maybe I should put that in the thumbnable. Breaking. Yeah. Actually, no, because by the time I put it up, it would already have broke. News. But anyway, he's been given 2 games to save his job, which is Porto away in the Europa League. Not going to get a point.
No.
I'd be very surprised.
Yeah.
When they couldn't beat Twente at home.
Yeah.
Then they got Villa away.
Yeah. And
so Ten Hag will be out of a job by the time we have our next. But so then there's an international weekend, so that's why they're giving him 2 games.
Got another international weekend.
Yeah. After next weekend. Yeah. I know, mate. And yeah.
I still didn't get my call up. Fuck is this?
Still time, mate. Don't worry.
Thanks, mate.
But so 2 games to save his job. But he must know. He's sitting next to Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's been tooted for his job. He must, because then there was a sequence of conversation yesterday when I was watching the game where it was just after they conceded a third goal, which was right at the start of the second half.
Yep.
I think it was. Oh no, it might have been. No, it wasn't. The second goal was right at the beginning of the second half. It was 1-0 half time.
Yeah.
Right when that goal went in, it pans to Ten Hag sitting down next to Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy is looking straight forward like this, not saying a word. And Ten Hag's rabbit in his ear, and just looked like you. If you imagine going to a club and you're driving, and you turn up late, and someone's just like and you're just there like, fucking get me out of here. Get me out of here. I feel so sorry for Ten Hag. I know he's going to get a multi-million-pound payout when he does get sacked.
Yeah, of course.
And he's set for life. But I can't help but feel sorry for him. Because he just, for all intents and purposes, most United fans were quite behind the choice. And I think it was a good choice. He'd done well at Ajax. Ajax played a lovely brand of football. Which, by the way, we haven't seen even the smallest iota of the same type of football.
No.
Like, not at all. And when people say, you can't play that type of football at Man United or in the Premier League, yes, you can, because Tottenham very much do it.
And Tottenham beat United doing it.
Like, Ange's style was very similar to what Ten Hag had at Ajax. A high press and overloading in attack.
But you need a high work rate, and I don't think United...
No, that's exactly it. And that's why he's brought in pressing forwards like Højlund and Xerxes are high press, and even Mount. Mount's a very good pressing cam. And Bruno, for all his flaws, can do it as well. But then you're still carrying dead weight that just don't want to do the work.
Yeah. So Rashford very much will do the work until
he does it one way. He doesn't go back. Never goes back. He's tracking yesterday. So the first goal, Van der Ven. I don't know if he comes from Rashford's side, but he runs through the whole of the team. And yes, Van der Ven's fast, but you're told at like under 14 level that you stop. Yeah, you stop the attack at source. There's 3 or 4 people around him in midfield. Just take the yellow card.
Yeah.
Just take the yellow card because you ain't catching him.
One or the other gets through. The ball or the player, not both.
Exactly, yeah. Ball or man, always.
Yeah.
But, so, let's now hypothesise.
Yep.
And we'll say Ten Hag sacked after the Villa game. So they got the international weekend or 2-week period. They'll have a manager in mind.
Yeah.
Let's say Van Nistelrooy isn't that man. He 100% is. We all know it
He'll
is.
at least be interim.
Yeah. Let's say he's not. Who comes into that job? Because Van Nistelrooy is only a stopping cap as well, even if he did come in. But let's say he doesn't.
Yeah.
Who would United fans want? If you're a United fan and you somehow managed to find us, who would you want in charge over Ten Hag? Would you want Van Nistelrooy, an ex-player? Because that's going down the same route as Ollie, with less experience.
Yeah.
I know, to be fair, Van Nistelrooy has had a managerial job, but which is why now the rumours, when he came, why would you go from a manager to an assistant manager? Why would you do that?
But where was he the manager of?
Feyenoord or something like that. Somewhere in Dutch football. It wasn't them. I don't know who it was, but
I mean, the calibre of going to United, even as an assistant manager, probably beats most out of the Premier League managerial jobs.
No, I think he was told that you're here to take over from Ten Hag. I think.
But surely, if he doesn't take over, then if that obviously, I know we're only hypothesising, but if he doesn't take over from Ten Hag, you'd be fuming. You'd go. Because you've given up a managerial role for an assistant manager on the promise.
I don't know if he gave up the managerial job before he was sacked. I don't know if he'd left.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair.
But I know he'd had previous experience. But it's less experience than what Ollie had. Ollie was in charge of Cardiff and previously somewhere in Norway.
Yeah.
Or the other way around maybe. But even so, who is out there really that's going to make a difference at United? Because
I don't think anyone of the calibre that United need.
Well, yeah, you need someone with a strong backbone that's going to be able to be like, this is what I want, and you need the board to listen. Which is what
I don't even think that would make a difference.
Not previously. It didn't work with Van Gaal. It didn't work with Mourinho.
No, and Ten Hag got rid of Ronaldo, didn't he?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, right, he's got the same sort of like Arteta when Arteta got rid of Aubameyang. But yet, it didn't work. Just because Ten Hag had the backbone to start with, I think he got rid of Ronaldo because Ronaldo was an easy one to get rid of.
Even that, it draws question marks for me on that whole Ten Hag Ronaldo rift.
Yeah.
Like, was he just made to be the scapegoat?
What,
Ronaldo? Because at the time they got rid of him, he was still their top goal scorer.
Like, he could still do something.
So they got rid of him, and now he's still loved by United fans. Majority of United fans, he's still loved.
I think only the new sort of fans that aren't of that era would go that, oh no, Ronaldo coming back was a mistake. I mean, it wasn't the best move for him. I get why he done it. He wanted sort of like
I disagree. I don't think it was a bad move at all.
But I think the way that
we eulogised it like it was the second coming of Christ.
Yeah,
and obviously he's not the same player, and football's obviously developed a lot in the Premier League.
And Ten Hag's way, like you said earlier, he wants pressing forwards,
which you can't do.
Ronaldo is not a pressing forward anymore. He's of an age. Mm-hmm. He's still an amazing player, but he's of an age now where pressing is not going to be his game anymore.
Yeah,
very much like you.
I'm good at pressing. What are you talking about?
I was comparing you to Ronaldo, but whatever.
Yeah.
No, you can finish still.
No, I can't.
But you can't run.
No, I can't. That's a good point. That's a very good point. But Ten Hag's on his way out. Van Nistelrooy will come in, and I have no doubt they'll probably finish 5th or 6th. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt they'll finish 5th or 6th if they kept Ten Hag. I'd be very surprised if Ten Hag keeps his job, even if they hadn't said that two job thing. Because as soon as the board starts coming out and either publicly backing or rumours about these
not
games,
anymore.
rumours about these games being crucial, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall in the summer.
And if the players are already down tools on him, they already know that as long as they don't play well in these games, that's it, he's gone.
The player power is just something that's unfortunately always been a thing, and it's so hard to watch when you see it happen. Like it happened with West Ham and Moyes last season. The players just stopped, and I'm like, you're not punishing the manager. You're not punishing him. You're punishing the thousands upon thousands of fans that, one, are in the stadium that have paid money to be there.
Yeah.
And then 2, your millions of fans worldwide, because they're the ones that live and breathe the club. Like, players are so out of touch with reality, they don't understand that we look forward to, as a fan, from Saturday when the game finishes, we look forward to the next game. Whether you win, lose or draw, you get over that fact by the first thing Sunday morning or Monday morning if you play on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Are so out of touch with us that they don't even understand how much it means to people. Like, it means there's a reason why during COVID football was one of the only things that carried on happening.
Yeah.
And because it held such a high, it's so high on a social ladder. Like it keeps people in touch with reality.
It's almost what England is built on.
Yeah.
As much as, I mean, I can't imagine anyone watching this is not a football fan.
Yeah.
But I think people, the players especially, don't understand how much football means to England. Like, not just on a fan base. Like you said, you look forward to every game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter how your team's playing. You get it all over Twitter, and it's like, oh, I'm sick of it. Like, I can't believe I'm watching this all the time. But you'll watch it again next week.
You'll still pay money. You'll still watch it.
Yeah,
you'll still do it. And it's sad. It's a sad state of football these days, that because footballers are such prima donnas, and that's every footballer. That's a blanket statement. I think that's fair to say nowadays they are. They'll celebrate like it means the world to them when they score a goal or when they win something. But as soon as the times are hard, so many footballers nowadays are just be like, right, I'm done.
They still get paid.
Yeah, they still get paid at the end of the day. Like, prime example is for us right now is Paquetá. Paquetá has all the ability in the world. Mm-hmm. Was
he's a star player, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he starts for Brazil. He's been poor for us. Yeah, and I mean, there's a few players that have been poor for us. Don't get me wrong, but he stands out because of how good he's been. Exactly, because of the looming charges of betting. It's now messed up his big money move to Man City, which was obviously in his contract when he came to West Ham. Yeah. We was working as a feeder club almost. Because that's now been mooted due to it, he's just down tools. And you see it again across Man United's team, because they don't want to work for the manager, or for whatever reason, they're just not putting in the effort. And you can see it from a mile away. And the fans can see it, the manager can see it, the coaching staff can see it, but you can't do anything. You can't force a player to play.
No, you can't.
And if they're your Bruno Fernandez's or your Marcus Rashfords, who are your star players, what are you meant to do?
If they're not doing it, no one else around them can do it. Because although, I mean, Rashford's not that old, but he's a senior player.
Yeah, 100%.
And being such a big star at United, if he's not doing the hard graft, none of the players, the new players coming in, the younger players coming up, they're going to see that and go, well, he's getting away with it, so I can get away with it.
Exactly. You need to have players like, this is why I really like Garnacho. Garnacho's work rate is unbelievable. it's a worrying time for United, and it's a worrying time for Ten Hag. I don't see any light at the end of the tunnel in that regard.
No, I pretty much would say he's done.
I just wish that West Ham played him before he goes, because I know what's going to happen. We'll be. I don't know if we are, but we'll be the first game back when they get a new manager, and they'll beat us like 7-0. It always happens. I've said it for years. If you're struggling for a win or a player struggling for a goal, go and play West Ham. You will get a hatful. But we've
touched on that for long enough.
Yeah, we put a pin in the voodoo doll that is Ten Hag enough here.
He's done.
He's done. He's thrown to the wolves.
You've had it here first. Ten Hag is out.
Man City struggled. I watched the first half of the City Newcastle game because I had football.
Yep.
And City went 1-0 up. Grealish looked really good.
Grealish is coming back to himself, I feel.
Yeah, he's
like I feel like he's sort of going back to how
he's getting more game time this season than what he got last.
Yeah, and I think that's only going to improve him, and it's showing that Pep has confidence in him, which I think again Grealish seems like very much an ego player.
Yeah,
he needs 100%.
That. He needs the support to be at his best. But Newcastle came back into the game and played really well. Just to touch on them quickly, we said that their performances have been poor. I don't think that's any secret. I think anyone that watched any of Newcastle's games thus far would say
think exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So they came back to draw 1-1. It was a great result for Newcastle at St James's Park.
Absolutely.
Now this is what we've grown to get used to about Man City. They start seasons relatively slowly. Up until the Arsenal game, from about 30 minutes, they'd started really well, I thought.
Yeah.
But they looked bereft of ideas. Again, I've used my favourite word, bereft.
Love it.
It's just a good word. But they looked stuck. They looked like they didn't have the answers. And for all their possession and all their chance creation, I don't recall Haaland having a chance. And that seems to be... he's got 10 goals in 5 games.
Yeah.
4 games. 5 games now?
5 games now.
10 goals in 5 games, might be 6 actually. However many it is.
Sorry, I saw before the Newcastle game.
Oh, okay,
5. 10
so
goals in 5.
It's very obvious that we knew it anyway, but he's their main goal threat. No one else is chipping in for Man City at the minute.
No.
You've got John Stones hitting a last minute equaliser against Arsenal. Has anyone else scored for him this season?
I don't think so.
De Bruyne's been injured. Foden's been injured.
Rodri's now out.
Yeah, Rodri's out.
Not that he's a goal scorer.
Vardy out because he scored at the weekend.
Yes, he did.
And actually, he scored earlier in the season as well. But no one else is scoring for him. So if you can cut the supply line, or just keep Haaland quiet, easier said than done.
Of course, he's a robot.
Then you're going to be fine. That's what I feel like Newcastle almost watched the Arsenal game and took what Arsenal did so well and used it. And it worked. Like Haaland was quiet, and he does have periods of quiet. Like every number 9 throughout history has had periods in games or in time where they've been ineffective.
Yeah,
where things just aren't falling like they used to, or aren't working.
They're not falling into place. Yeah, because although Haaland he can score any sort of goal he wants, really. But I think if you can keep him sort of pinned in, he struggles with that.
Yeah.
Like it's almost, and I mean, he's not an easy player to pin in. He's massive, he's strong, and as we've seen previously, I did share it on Twitter as well, he can foul people, get away with it and score goals, but when someone does it the other way around...
Was that the Watford one?
Yeah. Oh, mate. In the FA Cup.
Would that have made it 2-2? Or was that before they scored their second?
That was before they scored their second, so it would have made it 1-1.
I didn't see it. I saw what you tweeted there. But no, it's
infuriating.
It is a bit of a... I don't want to say worry for Pep, but
I don't think we have to worry about him.
But I think there's more problems at City than just missing Rodri. Like Foden isn't playing that much at the minute. De Bruyne, I don't even know if he's injured. I don't know if he played, to be honest. If he did play, I didn't notice him.
I don't know. I think he's still out.
Yeah.
I think he's out. So
there's no creativity in their midfield.
No, it's gone.
It would have been good one.
Yeah. But without De Bruyne, without Rodri, you've got nothing.
It's a very unorthodox midfield that I don't think they've worked with very often. They've always had either De Bruyne, Foden, or Rodri. So it'll be interesting to watch over the next coming weeks to see how Pep manages that, because the workload's obviously only going to get more and more coming as we get further into the season. I think the international break will probably come at a good time.
I was going to say, I think it's almost like he's going to be holding on for that now.
Yeah.
Because he knows that gives more time for him to rest his players.
Don't get me wrong, Man City is still going to be either 1 or 2 in the league. They're not like...
This is not one of those pleas for, oh my God, Man City, poor them. Yeah. Because they're fine.
They're not rocking. It's just, I feel like they're not anywhere near as strong as what we might have been led to believe.
What we used to.
Yeah.
We're used to them having a massively strong side, and then they don't really need their subs until... With
Gundogan coming back, I thought they'd be back to how they were when they won the treble.
Yeah.
But obviously Rodri being injured now for the season, confirmed now, is obviously a massive spanner in the works. That'll be a spanner for anyone. I've said this before. He's the Busquets of that Barcelona team.
Yeah.
With all the great players. Like he is the cog that they cannot play without.
You still need that anchor.
Yeah.
That anchor in the middle.
It's just the job that he does is so underrated, especially in English football. Mm-hmm. We, for years, have underestimated the importance of having that person that can screen the back four, play on the half turn, and get the ball out. This is why Michael Carrick was so underappreciated.
Yeah.
In the time where it was always about Scholes, no, not Scholes, it was always about Gerrard or Lampard, when Carrick was more important to the England team at that point, in my opinion, should have been, than either of those two.
Yeah. If
we just looked over across the border to Spain and seen how they were playing when they were dominating global football, both in the Liga and international football, we would have seen it. And now, because we've been blessed with Rodri in the Premier League, we're starting to see it, and you're starting to see it from a younger age, which is why someone like your Angel Gomez, who left Man United to go to Lille, who recently got his England call up, you see someone that's short in stature playing a holding midfield role doing so well, because you don't need to be big and burly anymore.
No, it's not about winning headers.
No,
anymore.
it's not.
About controlling.
It's if you can get the ball and play a pass that no one else sees, then you're going to do well. Yeah, and that's what Rodri does better than anyone in the Premier League. Actually, no, De Bruyne as well. But they're in the same team, so if they're both missing, the supply line's gone. Yeah,
you've got that. You haven't got that anchor anymore.
Yeah,
and that's potentially where they are falling apart. Not falling apart.
No,
we can't call it that.
Falling short.
Falling short, yeah.
But then this leads us on to the next bit. Is this where Pep can turn around to his bench and to his coaching staff and be like, fuck, we could have done with Palmer?
I mean...
Because I for one, and I'm going to be honest, and I think a lot of people need to hold their hands up and be honest, that when Palmer made his £40 million move to Chelsea...
Yeah.
I was a bit like, he's had like 3 games. He's all right.
Why is he making that move?
Yeah, because he was linked with West Ham.
Yeah.
He was meant to be part of the deal for Qatar.
But you're gutted now, aren't you?
Now, obviously. At the time, I was like, good, I don't want him. What a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And then Chelsea paid 40 million for him, and now I heard on TalkSport, it's a great deal. Yeah, but you weren't fucking saying that at the time. 40 million for a player that's... That's hardly broken into the first team. There is no chance that you can back it that much. It is a gamble. Fundamentally, it's a gamble. But what happened is that... So I've only recently found this out. So he's come to Pep the year before, saying, I want more game time. Can I go out on loan? And Pep or his coaching staff, I'm not sure if I don't think it's a conversation like you see on FIFA where the managers sit in one side.
And they're having an actual conversation.
I don't think it's like that. It's probably more done through avenues of his agent and Pep's reps. Yeah. But anyway, let's, for the sake of this, say he's sitting across from Pep. He's gone, oh, Pep, I want to go out on loan. Yeah. See me off. And he's gone, no, Cole, I need you. You can play a big part in the team this year. Yeah. Cole backs himself, which I've alluded to before, unwavering self-belief, and it is phenomenal. Yeah. To back yourself that much. You don't see it often enough. Oh. And then to be able to back it up as well the way he has. So he's been like, right, cool, I'll prove myself this season, I'll be a starter next season. Probably with conversations with his agent, his parents, because he would have only been 19, 20 at the time.
Yeah, young.
Cool, Man City fan, been there since a kid.
Yep.
Cool, I'll stay, I'll work into the first team, and next season will be my real breakout year. Come to the end of that season, he then goes back to Pep again and says, what's happened this year? I need to be starting games. I want to be playing more. Yeah. Pep said, I can't promise you that, but if you're patient, you'll get the time. just look at Foden. Cole's gone, no, sorry, I want first team football now. So can you sell me?
That's self-belief, isn't it? Like
I don't think at that point Pep knew the player he was letting go.
No.
And also you can't as a manager turn around and be like, right, okay, we really want to keep you, so we'll give you the minutes, because then you're in the pocket of the player. You can't give the power to the player. So it isn't a mistake from Pep to let him go because he couldn't promise him minutes at the time. Again, you don't know Cole Palmer's going to score fucking 30 odd goal involvements. You don't know that. And at City he wouldn't, because he wouldn't be taking penalties.
No.
And he wouldn't have to pull them out of the dirt like he's had to do at Chelsea. So I still think it's a very good deal for Man City, 40 million for a young player.
Yeah, who wasn't playing.
And still, I don't even think he'd still be playing now. Because he wouldn't have had the season. Fundamentally, it's worked out better for both of them. Yes, you can look back and be like, "Fuck, we let a really good player go," but you didn't know at the time.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly. You can't go into every situation being like, "Well, what if?"
Yeah, no, of course not. Because
right now it's a very hard question. I'm glad I'm asking it. Is Cole Palmer better than Phil Foden?
Right now,
yeah,
I would say yes. So I mean, this season.
No.
I have to clarify
okay, so not purely. Is he a better footballer? Not in terms of form. Is he a better footballer?
No.
Why?
Although he looks good now, I think Phil Foden has attributes that Cole Palmer doesn't. And I know that's going to be controversial. I know a lot of people are going to be like, fucking, you don't know what you're talking about. And I might not know what I'm talking about. He might completely prove me wrong. But Phil Foden has done it more.
Has he though? I think I can't back. I don't have stats to back me up, but I'm pretty sure Cole Palmer has more goal involvements over the past 2 seasons than Phil Foden
in a Chelsea team.
Yeah, a shit Chelsea team.
Yeah.
If you put Phil Foden in the West Ham team, he's not doing that.
I disagree. I think if you don't have the superstars that Man City have, how are you meant to shine in that? No one shines in that, but he can shine at Chelsea. He's going to be playing more. He's going to be involved more because he's their star player. Phil Foden isn't.
Yeah, no.
Because they've got players
I'm not going to back that, but I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see it. But it's another one of those. It shouldn't be Bellingham or Foden. It should be Bellingham and Foden and Palmer. So instead of the question we should be asking isn't who starts for England, let's say Foden or Palmer. It's how can we start Foden, Palmer, and Bellingham.
I would say those in a not three in the middle, but like
so where's Saka playing? Yeah, so this is the problem. This is the beautiful problem that England have. We're rifting again, but we're going to fail with fundamentally the best attacking outlet we've ever had.
Because we can't play them all.
Because we're fucking idiots.
Well, we're not.
Yeah. We have. I think we should just do like 4 up front. You go. We'll play Declan Rice because everyone thinks he's really good.
In centre back.
No, centre middle of his own, like a football manager formation, like 4-1-4-1.
Okay.
And just see him out.
I mean, that would work perfectly for Kane.
Yeah, but going back to Cole Palmer, unbelievable. 4 goals in a weekend again. I believe I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure only the second player ever to get 4 goals on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. I'd say I think I heard this somewhere and I read it somewhere, and at first I was a bit like that's a ridiculous comment, but more I thought on it, I was like, yeah, Cole Palmer is the second most clinical finisher in the Premier League behind Haaland.
Is that like an actual stats or you just said?
No, I'm saying it.
Okay.
Like who's a better finisher than Cole Palmer? Who when they get through 1-on-1 do you have more confidence in than Haaland and Cole Palmer?
No, it's a very fair point. Like, and I wonder if that again comes down to self-belief. Because Haaland,
it has to be.
Haaland is 100% going into every game thinking I'm scoring there.
Yeah,
I'm scoring a hattie, whatever. Well, and Cole Palmer is probably within the same boat of going, yeah, I'm doing that.
Well, there was something when he was doing his when they're doing a press day at the beginning of the season for Chelsea. They do all their like standing in front of the camera to do their lineup or their celebration animation, and the cameraman said to him, "Put 3 up like you've just scored a hat trick. And apparently Cole Palmer turned around and said, "I'll put 4 up when I score 4 in a game."
Is it?
I don't know if that's completely made up, but
I mean,
I hope not, because it's unbelievable. I didn't like Cole Palmer. I really didn't get him. I thought he was arrogant from an outside perspective. I don't know him.
not mates.
I didn't like him, and he's grown on me massively. Like, just his whole demeanour.
I thought he'd be a bit of a
body
one-hit
language.
wonder.
So did I, but
honest.
I've been wrong about this before. I thought Mo Salah would be.
No, he's not.
I was going to say, but no, he's gonna have a quiet period at some point. It's going to happen.
It happens to him all. It happened to Haaland.
But he has got the platform now, to be an all-time Premier League great. Yeah, with what he's doing at Chelsea,
if he can continue it.
If Chelsea can carry on with their trajectory and he carries on with his, I'm telling you, he'll be a Ballon d'Or winner.
He'll go above Foden then.
He as far as I'm concerned, he's higher than Foden right now anyway.
Right now?
Foden's ability, out and out, footballing wise, he's a better footballer. Mm-hmm. But Palmer's...
He's a better clinical finisher. He's more clinical.
Palmer's more important in a team right now.
Yeah.
And not even right now. I think he's more crucial to a team than Foden. He does more.
In City. Palmer wouldn't be more crucial in City.
I think his numbers would be similar. Now, if they had a buyback clause and bought him back this summer and he was a starter, I think he could be.
But like you said, he doesn't have the penalties. He doesn't have the free kicks.
Did you see his free kick?
Yeah,
how are you just taking a free kick and a hat trick for the hat trick and just putting in a stanch? Like, how are you doing that? Yeah, like it's unbelievable. Like, penalties, I now know he's probably not going to miss one for a while. No. Speaking of that, I've got a very good stat for you. It's a question actually. Okay. Great. So he's the most Premier League penalties without missing. He's second with 10. Yeah. There's only one other person that's gone more than 10 penalties without missing. Yeah. Who is it?
Ivan Toney.
No.
It's not?
Nope.
Oh, because I thought Ivan Toney had
He did have a really good... He missed against Newcastle a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but I thought it was like 28 in.
No, that was not in the Premier League. It would have been, but that would have been a cross. Right. It was a Man City player. I didn't even know... I don't even recall him taking penalties, but it was Yaya Toure. He got 11 penalties in a row without missing. He is one away from that.
I mean, I would never have guessed Yaya Toure.
If someone knew that, I tip my hat to you, because that is one of the most random players to have a statistic like that. Because I didn't even know he took penalties for them. No. And there's another one that he's got, Palmer. Yeah. So he's now joined an elite group of 4 other Premier League players to have scored more than 4 or more. Don't look at my sheet. 4 or more in one half of football. Yeah. So can you name me any of the 3 others? There's 3 others.
There's 3 others.
Yeah. Again, if you guys know, in the comments, let me know. And also how many goals they scored, because they're not all the same.
Oh, really? Well, so some of them have scored more than 4 in that game.
Yeah. One half.
In one half, sorry. I'm going to go, one of them's got to be Aguero.
Yep.
Okay. Was he 4?
Yeah.
And he's done it twice?
I don't know if he was the other one who done it twice. I can't remember who was the other person who done it twice.
Jermaine Defoe.
Yeah. Jermaine Defoe. He scored 5 for Tottenham.
5? Yeah. All right. In one half?
One half, scored 5 goals. I can't remember who it was against. Again, let us know.
Probably Watford.
I think it was like Portsmouth or something. No, it wasn't Portsmouth.
No.
It was someone shit. So it might have been Watford.
Thanks, mate.
Could have been Portsmouth though as well.
It's probably West Ham.
I'd remember it being West Ham.
They're probably on a bad run. So they played West Ham.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he'd not scored in 6 months before that. Yeah. Go on then. You got one more. The harder one. I don't think many people know this off the top of their head, unless you're a fan of that club.
Peter Crouch?
No, I think older than Peter Crouch.
Older than Peter.
He's now a manager. We've mentioned him today.
Wayne Rooney?
No.
Oh.
One more guess.
Oh, Van Nistelrooy?
Close. It was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 98-99.
Ole?
Got 4 in one half, yeah. Off the bench as well, I'm pretty sure, that game.
Coldest player in
He's the coldest player in Premier League history, yeah. But he's hungry for more. Did you see his post-match interview?
I did, actually.
He was fuming that he missed one in the second half.
And
had one disallowed, which was a great finish.
Yeah. That, again, though, comes down to your self-confidence.
Yeah.
That you're annoyed at yourself that you didn't get more than 4.
It's mental. There's elitism, and then there's like supernatural, like self-belief.
I reckon he's after Haaland.
Well, you reckon what, Golden Boot?
Yeah.
Well, he's got 6. Haaland's obviously got 10.
Fine.
Taking penalties, free kicks. Haaland's due an injury.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's the worst shout, but it's easy to say because he's just got 4 in one game.
Of course, and but I mean he's boosted up his numbers enough, and not that he needs it, but he's probably boosted up his confidence enough now that he can look at it and go, right, I could go for this now.
Do you think that's in Premier League footballers' minds?
What, Golden Boot?
Yeah, this early, unless you're Haaland.
I mean, yeah, but if you're Haaland, Salah, it's almost like
probably Son. You won a lot of goals. You're always near the top.
Yeah, I mean,
after Haaland getting 10 in 5, I don't think they are.
No, but I think Cole Palmer has that belief that he can. I also wonder if it's a bit of a vendetta against City, because obviously
But he wasn't told he wasn't good enough.
No,
he was just told to be patient.
He was told to be patient, but he believed that he should be starting.
Right.
So now he's gone somewhere that he's starting. He's proven the point. Yeah. He's like, this to him is like his way of going, Pep, you should have played me.
I think this is why, for me personally, it never worked out football-wise. My mentality was the polar opposite. When I was told I'm not ready or be patient, it went the polar opposite way. I'm not good enough.
Yeah, your confidence.
And then you sink in. Then you sink into yourself. Well, I suppose that's probably what all footballers had to deal with. Yeah. All elite footballers now that have made it have had to deal with knockbacks, and it's your ability to take those knockbacks and not keep them with you.
Yeah.
To just brush it off. You need to be bulletproof to a certain degree.
Yeah. Well, if you look at obviously going back many years now, when Lionel Messi started, he was told he'd never be in a professional football. Yeah, because he was too small.
Yeah.
Even though he was on growth hormones and everything, trying to sort it out, he was getting nothing.
He was well ugly as well.
Yeah, but look at him now.
Yeah, he's really good looking.
What a lad. I'd shag him.
But yeah, I wouldn't.
For his football ability. If I got his football ability, I would do it.
Who else would you shag for their football ability?
Ronaldo. And he's quite a good looking lad.
Would you have to be the taker altogether?
You'd have to be the taker.
Ronaldo isn't good looking. He's just got money to pay to be good looking.
Yeah.
If you look back at those pictures of when he first came to United, mate, he looks like he's been chewing glass. He looks like someone you buy meth off of.
It looks like he's been punched in the face by Rocky.
Going back to this confidence thing you're talking about, you're right.
Yeah.
Because if you look back at I think it's Dabo, the Coventry player who missed the penalty in the playoff final.
Yeah.
He missed the penalty. They didn't go up. Luton went up instead. Coventry released him that night, and now he's playing like League 2. Like, so he was on the premises of the Premier League to
did they really release him
that night.
It's brutal.
Mental. Like, it must have been a clause in his contract that if they got promoted,
if they missed a penalty, he got released.
that's
pressure.
Harsh. Like, that is what we from the outside don't see. Like how dog eat dog it is in there, and how
you do from a managerial.
Yeah, but from a fan, like looking in, like how flippant it can be. That's literally a coin toss, because a penalty is fundamentally
it's 50-50.
Yeah. No one has the upper hand there. You can be the best penalty taker in the world against the best keeper in the world,
and it'll be 50-50 about whether it goes in.
Yeah,
it's probably easier for keepers.
There's less pressure on keepers.
Well, what I mean is,
I hate penalties.
I don't mind them. I'll take them.
I think, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if I'd score them, but I'd take them. I have the confidence in myself that I'm going to hit the target. It's just about if there's enough power and if it's out of the way of the keeper enough.
I overthink it. Every penalty.
Skyrocket it.
No, I don't. I don't put enough. Did you not see my penalty last year?
Oh yeah, that's true. I was going to take the fifth one.
Oh, I took the worst penalty in a cut. We went through, but I took the worst penalty you've ever seen. I went first, and I sort of... So the keeper put the ball on the spot, and the ref goes, "Oh, you can move it if you want." I was like, "Nah,
don't worry.
I walked up to it, and I've like sort of stuttered. The keeper didn't move, so I literally just passed it straight down the middle. It was worse than... I don't know if you would have seen it, but Ademola Lookman took a penalty for Fulham against West Ham a few years ago in like the 95th minute. And he tried what's the dink called? Rabona. Panenka. Yeah, Panenka. He tried Panenka in it, and it just went, and he just caught it, and I was just like that. That's how I felt. But then Ademola Lookman's now tearing it up for Atlanta. Just won the Europa League.
Oh well.
Like Conference League. Sorry, beat all sorts of teams. Now in the Champions League.
Yeah, but you've moved from like Sunday League to Saturday League.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still paying for football. I don't get paid yet.
Yeah, well,
We're getting there.
slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. Yeah, Cole Palmer, Ballon d'Or winner in the next 5 years. You heard it here first. I haven't written that down. But if he carries on like this, you can't.
I mean, yeah, I could see him being thrown into the mix.
Is he nominated this year?
I don't know. I haven't even seen it. Apparently, it came out already that Vinicius Junior had won it.
But
I don't understand why.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great player.
Well, they won the Champions League, didn't they?
Yeah, but normally it goes to whoever wins the Euros of the world. No.
I thought it would have been Rodri personally, but if Man City had won the Champions League, I think it would have been. Also, if we'd have won it, it could have been Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Or Jude. Probably Jude might have pipped him because of his season at Real Madrid. But Ballon d'Or is something I've never really paid attention to.
No, I don't really.
Seeing the winner.
Because it's normally either
Messi
it was
over
always
the last 10
Messi
years.
Ronaldo, yeah.
Can you tell me how many Messi got? Off the top of your head.
7?
Yeah, I think it was 7. I think Ronaldo got 5. Or it might be 8 and 5. So I know he got one recently, Messi, and it was just ridiculous.
After they won last year. After they won the World Cup.
So with getting back onto the football, because now we're just absolutely talking bollocks.
Tangent.
Yeah. Liverpool top of the table, which surprised me.
I'm going to be honest, right? Because
I told you they was in the title race.
I know, but I don't regularly look at the table.
Yeah. This early I don't anyway.
No, because there's no point. I watch the results, watch the games. But
you don't watch the games.
You don't dig me out this week because I did. Okay, right. A couple of weeks I haven't. I've been busy. All
right, go on.
I've got a life.
Yeah, okay.
Not much of one, but something. Anyway, yeah. I didn't even realise that Liverpool were that close to being top with a point.
Yeah,
a point space.
Yeah, so they're top on points, not goal difference.
Yeah, and then obviously because they're on 15, and then you got City and Arsenal both on 14.
Yeah, something like that anyway.
City dropping points, Arsenal winning has matched them, and then Liverpool beating Wolves has put Liverpool top
and Wolves bottom
and Wolves at the bottom
with -10.
Yeah, that's unreal.
It is. I rate Gary O'Neill, and I think Wolves have been unlucky in certain games, but they haven't won a game.
Nope.
They're leaking goals.
Yep.
I don't think they've had the hardest start to the season. I think my biggest shocks so far are Palace and Wolves.
Yeah.
Neither of them have got a win.
No.
Both in the bottom 3. Southampton could jump above both of them if they beat Bournemouth tonight.
I think on goal difference at the moment,
Wolves are bottom. So it's Wolves, Southampton, Palace.
Is it not Wolves, Palace, Southampton?
No.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if they were like.
But
if Southampton win tonight,
even if they get a point, they might jump above South. I know it's early on in the season, but who'd have thought that Wolves and Palace would be
the two
struggling this much?
Like part of the bottom 3.
It's mental. Like the way the season started, I wasn't expecting this at all. Even us, we've been fucking horrendous. No, said they win, they go up to 4 points, matching Everton.
Who got before you come off that?
Fulham in 6th. Another win for Fulham away from home, beating Forest, who killed their not unbeaten start at 100%.
Yeah,
Fulham are a very good team this year.
They are.
But we'll go back to Liverpool. We'll come on to Fulham briefly.
We'll touch on them. We'll touch on them later. So yeah, obviously Liverpool coming out as, I mean, they're always in it for the title race, but it's always just been.
Yeah. How close could they? How much could they close the gap this season over the longevity of a 38-game season, European football, and a new manager?
Although they've been successful though, like Liverpool in the past with Klopp and that, do you feel that this could be just a new manager bounce? I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong, they've got the team and they've got the capabilities and the players, like everything, to be really successful. But
I hear what you're saying, but
they haven't.
It could be to a slight degree, but I feel the way slotted in.
Nice, you've slotted that well.
It couldn't have been a better match. Like it's seamless. Like he's developed Klopp's style ever so slightly with a couple of player changes and wanting to play on the ball a bit more.
Yeah.
That they've used the positive from a Klopp era and the benefit of having the squad togetherness.
Yeah.
Without adding too many new players. That he's come in and, like I said, just tweaked a few little tactical things to get them higher up the pitch, more possession.
Yeah.
That I feel like this is the way that they're going to play for the season. There might be drop-offs here and there, but even like we touched on it when they lost to Forest, even that loss, they were the better team. They created chances. They didn't play well,
But Forest
played extremely well, and their tactics were spot on, and it worked. So, do I feel it's manager bounce? No. I don't think so. Do you?
I just feel that towards maybe the end of the club. I mean, it's Liverpool. They're always like a top tier team, but the last couple of seasons it's always been City, Arsenal. They've always been like Liverpool haven't really been much in the conversation.
Well, last year they were. They was in all four until probably
late on in the season.
Yeah, late on the latter third.
Of
the season that they dropped off.
What I mean is like before, 3 seasons ago.
Yeah,
it was always them and City.
Yeah,
and then they slowly sort of not died off, but they weren't.
Well, they didn't have the investment powers that Man City do, so they couldn't.
No
get
one has
in.
that apart from Newcastle.
So they couldn't get in the players quick enough to embed them in. Whereas City had, when they were at their peak of their powers on the clock, they had maybe 16 players.
Yeah,
that were all first team ready. Great, could start. City had 22. Yeah, minimum, and then behind that you had the likes of Cole Palmer.
Yeah,
who wasn't in that 22.
No.
So they have players. They have everything set up. Liverpool do have the same setup, but it's an establishment. It's not a conveyor belt of phenomenal players from worldwide with the best scouting networks. It's a heritage thing. Like they've inherited the fact that they're Liverpool. So they have a good,
now they can attract the nicer players. So it's easier.
They can, but they can't. They don't have the capability to get in 10. So when you saw it, last year Klopp had to rebuild their whole midfield
because of injuries and things like that,
and because of age. Yeah, like that was their whole midfield gone. Like James Milner, Jordan Henderson, and Lallana all left. Yeah, I know Lallana wasn't really a starter, but Henderson was.
Yeah, and Lallana was.
That was the other one. They all left. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, you do have to rebuild. So okay.
Man City haven't had that. Man City lost Gundogan and bought in Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, and they got rid of no.
And they still had Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri. Yeah. They brought in Kovacic as well from Chelsea. Who was like Liverpool can't do that. They can bring in maybe one, but they can't bring in three. They have to scout They
have to also like their budget's not the same, is it?
No,
like
they have to adhere to FFP like everyone else does. But title race for me looks wide open.
Yeah, okay.
6 games in, I'd put 4 teams in it.
And Chelsea being one of them.
I do. Chelsea look really good.
They do look really good. I agree, and obviously if Palmer can keep up,
even Jackson, mate. Like I heard Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank talking about Jackson. Yeah. And sorry, I know we touched on Chelsea already, but we'll just bring it back quickly. And I agree with what he said. He has all the attributes to be a phenomenal striker. Yeah. Like, and yes, he misses chances. He missed one again at the weekend. I don't think it was that bad a miss. Yeah. But he's still there. He's still getting there. Yeah. And the tenacity that he has, and again, it's a self-belief and confidence thing to keep getting into positions. If you're getting into positions, the goals will come. Of course. It's just when you get. He needs to start and carry. So he needs to carry on his goal scoring prowess that he's got this season. Yeah. For the season, otherwise he falls into the category of Darwin Núñez's. Yeah. Who I think's passed up too many opportunities to now be classed as a striker. Even I think he's more of a winger. Yeah. Because the main job as a striker is to score goals, and if you're not doing that, not consistently anyway. Who wins the league from this point? Six games in, who wins the league? Give me your first, second, third.
I think Arsenal will do it this season.
You still think Arsenal?
I think if Arsenal can get back with when obviously Odegaard and Rice, everyone is back in the game.
Rice is back.
But what I mean is like
they get back to their full strength.
Their full strength. I think that they can do it this season because it looks like you said, Man City's vulnerability has been shown with Rodri being out.
My pushback for that is that if Arsenal suffer an injury to one of their centre-backs, they're screwed. Gabriel or Saliba, either of them go, that I think we'll see how frail that defence is.
Yeah, true. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. So, but then again, it's the what ifs, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they done well again at the weekend. 2-0 up, threw away a 2-goal lead, but then 2 late goals, 94th, 97th minute. Yeah, that's what your Man United's under Ferguson did.
Yeah, Fergie
to
time.
win. Yeah, to win countless titles, you have to win those games when your back's against the wall.
Completely. Yeah.
And they did. And
I was
a bit dubious about Calafiori coming in when they signed him. I didn't think they needed him, but he looks like a real good player.
Should he have gone?
When?
On that game?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, what happened?
So it's on the yellow.
I've just caught myself.
Yeah. So, we didn't watch the game. We do a football podcast. You didn't watch the game.
I didn't. What? I skip over Arsenal.
Okay, so I saw a match of the day.
Right.
So I didn't watch the game.
So he was on the yellow card.
On the yellow card.
Right.
Clear foul.
Was it?
So the Leicester player got booked.
Why?
Because he got up. So he fouled him. No. So he got up. Like that's the ref.
Oh.
Ref gave him a yellow card.
What was the score at the time?
Couldn't tell you. 2-2 maybe.
Well, it's not. I mean.
Watching it,
yeah.
Like on the highlights, he should have been sent off. Like, that should have been a second yellow gone.
Well, they were sent off. We've seen two dubious red cards, let's say, for Arsenal in recent weeks. So maybe that's again playing into the ref's mind.
Yeah, potentially. So I don't know if it also made a difference because the Leicester player got up and started asking for it. He's gone, no, you're getting booked instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, he should have been off. In all fairness.
Interesting. So that's something else we can look on
later
on in the season to see if that makes a massive difference, because that's could potentially be the difference between 3 and 1 point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't think Leicester would have won that game.
I mean,
I don't know what the score was at that point.
So, looking at that Arsenal game, they had 36 shots.
Yeah.
Leicester had either 8 or 5.
See James Justin's goal?
Yeah.
Unreal. From a right back.
Pinged it.
Yeah.
Left post in. Yeah, it was unreal.
Stuff you dream of. Like that's the type of goal you dream of the night before a game.
Yeah. The noise that hits the post and goes in.
Yeah.
Sexy noise there. Sexy noise. That gets me through the night.
Okay. Don't need to know about your nighttime antics.
It's because I don't score. Apart from one.
Scored more than me this year.
Have I?
I haven't scored yet.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, mate. Do you want me to show you how to do a Trivella? Ping! Anyway, so yeah, on the Arsenal Brighton game, I think that they Leicester, yeah. Sorry, I don't know where I got Brighton. It's because they were the next game afterwards on Match of the Day. That's why I'm getting confused. Anyway, yeah, Leicester, I thought were going to show a bit more than they did.
I think that game's a free hit for your Leicesters.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, they came out the first 10 minutes of the second half, scored their 2 goals quite quickly, and they showed that actually they could have a bit about them.
Leicester will be fine this year.
But Arsenal then just demolished them
after
after
that.
When
you're not good.
Yeah.
If you can win when you're not playing well, that's the stuff titles do. Stuff champions need to do.
Yeah.
City have done it for years. United done it through the years. Liverpool, when they won it recently, they was phenomenal throughout the season.
Yeah.
They got over 100 points the year before, or just about 100 points. Didn't win.
But on one of their unbeaten runs, Watford did beat them 3-0.
Yep.
So they did have bad games.
There's your insert for Watford again. Yep. So every episode, at least once. What was I going to say? I was going to say something.
Okay. Was it about Arsenal?
No. Oh, my type, who I think is going to win the league.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick by it. I think it'll be City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea. That's my top 4. And my bottom 3, I'm going to stick by it with Ipswich, Southampton, Ipswich, Everton.
Yeah, I think you have to insert Everton there.
But do you know what? They won at the weekend.
Yeah, I actually think that Palace might be.
I think they might panic with Glasner. They weren't good again against Everton.
No,
they did go 1-0 up, so they've thrown away a lead.
Yeah,
went 1-0 up very early from Gurhey.
But that 1-0 lead, it's almost like they'd won the game already.
Yeah,
that's how they played. They played like they'd already won it, and then that was it.
Well, the Goodison crowd, I think, pushed Everton on.
Yeah,
which is this is what frustrates me about fans is that Everton and Goodison Park has been such a fractious relationship over the past 8 months.
Yeah,
but they were really behind their team at the weekend, even when they went 1-0 down. Yes, there's boos and jeering. Of course, there is your 1-0 down again. But you saw when the equaliser went in, it lifted the crowd, and then by extension, the crowd lifted the players.
Yeah,
and they were able to play above themselves. And Dwight McNeil, who is, by the way, categorically the most average footballer in British football. If he was right-footed, he'd be in League One.
Scored a brace, didn't he?
I don't care. I genuinely hate him. I don't know what the big deal is about. I look at him and I just think average. But yeah, he's scoring goals for Everton in the Premier League. He's the top goal scorer this season. I think he's got 4 now. So
really?
Yeah, well, he scored in that game they lost to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got 4 goals. He's just not good.
Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah, Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or. That's
Ballon d'Or. Sounds like a perfume.
That's my perfume.
Yeah, Dwight McNeil pulling them out of the trenches. Sean Dyche lived to fight another day.
Yeah.
So,
Sean Dyche would be good in a scrap, I reckon. Like if you're down the pub and
Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
That's what the accent that was.
all I'm saying, right, Sean Dyche, someone walks past, knocks your pint, you go, oi, Dyche, he's just knocked me pint.
You just knocked my pint.
He's
sound like Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
I'm a fighting man. Right, well, that is it from us today, guys.
Yep.
If you haven't already and you like it around here, please like and subscribe. Give us a comment, help promote us on the algorithm. We will be back next week with some more football-based average knowledge.
And my Watford insert.
Yeah. We'll try and talk about the Champions League games this week as well. Don't forget our giveaway. Like and subscribe. Peace.
Bye.